Teachers of Reddit, what's the funniest answer you've come across while grading papers? I used to mark chemistry papers for a university. There was a question, the content I can't recall, but an essay-style answer was required. Anyway, this one student had a complete mind blank and instead wrote this elaborate story about a lonely dragon who couldn't make friends. So lots of different animals would take pity on him and try to be his friend, but in his excitement, he would set them on fire. This went on for 3 or 4 sides, stopped mid-sentence, there was a line break, and they started the correct essay. To this day, I wonder if the dragon ever made any friends without accidentally killing them. Poor guy. Did you give him full credit for how he answered this? Or did you subtract points? They would have got the score that the essay deserved. The story has no impact on the marking at all. List 3 different gases: air, farts, gravity. Ah, yes, gravity, the heaviest of gases. On a thermodynamics test, the students had to define adiabatic. One student answered, someone who needs insulin. I think I gave them half credit. Everyone needs insulin. Diabetics just can't produce their own. I remember that there was once in our Chinese character test, we had to figure out what Tang Gu Feng Yue meant. It's a proverb and roughly means a school's dog will be able to read and write in 3 years. You get affected by what you're with. But a kid wrote, if you can't figure it out in 3 years, you're stupider than a dog. He probably did it on purpose. A Japanese quiz where a student wrote, I don't know, I'm sorry, I didn't study, dishonor on my family and my cow. She drew the saddest cow on the bottom of the page. She wasn't Chinese for the record. Edit. The dishonor on your family and cow thing is a Mulan reference, which is Chinese. Nothing to do with the quiz or class itself. There was also an assignment where the numbers were written in Japanese. You had to write it in Arabic numbers. This fucker wrote in Roman numerals. I laughed and then I wanted to stab him. Well, if the intent of the assignment was to demonstrate understanding of Japanese numbers, I'd say he nailed it. Although, yeah, shitty. Had a student turn in some code with profanity in the comments. In their defense, R deserves that kind of response. I told them officially I have to give them a talk about professionalism, and unofficially my thesis has far worse in it. Not a teacher, but when I was taking my driver's test, this had been written under a question. How much is the fine for fleeing an officer? Answer: nothing, if you're fast. A 3rd grader's homework was to define vocab words, and one of them was parent. His definition: adults who own you. Surprisingly profound for a 3rd grader. A student wrote an advertisement for the new season of 24 in the top corner of the paper. Strange, but it did remind me to watch it. Just finished marking a set of English and American culture papers. One student wrote theirs on the film Bended Like Beckham, while another wrote a very engaging essay about the popular Mary Shelley book Frank Einstein. Made up quotes in a religion exam. The Bible says, thou shalt not lotto. It is in the Bible not to wrestle your neighbor. Nacho. I'm still a student, but have my internship at an IT school. The first year, students had to make a test on the basics of database stuff, and they had to draw a binary search tree and stuff like that, which I had to grade. The teacher was too lazy to type out, draw a binary search tree every time with the numbers. So that part of the test just said, draw the tree. Every student drew almost correct binary search trees except for one. He didn't remember how to draw one, so he just drew a normal tree with really detailed leaves. For the balanced tree, he drew the same tree on a seesaw, and according to him, the root of the tree was the part at the bottom the tree used to get nutrients out of the ground. He didn't pass the test. My nephew's response to the question, if you could accompany Christopher Columbus on an adventure, where would you go? His response, nowhere, because he's dead.
Want more? Subscribe Blah Blah Hero.